is Nicole DiCristofaro. Thank you, Nicole, for joining us.
My pleasure. It's so good to be here.
I'm excited to hear what you have to share. And this is a beautiful talk that builds off of Allison's talk yesterday about how we can create the safe space for empowerment. And now we're really going to dive into that sacred space. And we've had questions about this, Nicole. Literally, some of the attendees have said, like, how do you do this in the online world? And so this
Yes,
is
it's a
great for us
skill.
to, we're going to be first to dive into. But Nicole, I'm going to have you first introduce yourself, share a little bit about what you do, where you are. As I shared yesterday in our first day of the summit, we are a large group of expats. And so it's kind of cool to hear where people have stationed themselves. So share a little about yourself, please.
Yes. Well, it is great that we can just connect all over the world. I am currently in Australia. My husband and I decided to sell everything and leave in 2020. Of course, during a pandemic, we were smart that way. But that's where I'm located now. But we rove around. We're nomads. And I am an energy medicine practitioner, a medical intuitive. My master's certification is in intuition medicine. And I also like to call myself a spiritual mentor for women that are looking for deeper connection with themselves and their intuition.
Thank you.
And
Well,
yeah,
you are the
what else can I
perfect
share?
person to talk about sacred space. Let's dive
Yeah.
in. What does that look like? How do we do this in the online world? Some of us are still seeing clients in person, so we can even address that too. But I think, the bigger question for people was, how do we do this online and what does it actually look like?
Yeah, this is something I wish they would probably put in the curriculum for any coach, healer, therapist, because I know it's not taught everywhere. And when I was going through my training as an intuition medicine practitioner, they were very like really about the energetic hygiene, as I will call it.
Yeah.
So energy hygiene is what we're learning today, folks. And with that, it gives you the ability to hold sacred space for your clients and for yourself, because, it is an exchange of energy, and being able to be present for your clients, patients, whoever you're caregiving for is, something that can take its toll on you, especially if you're a sensitive person or empath, or, you just have that nature. Because look, we're all in this profession because we care and we want to support people. So we have a propensity to be giving of ourselves and giving of our energy. And that can come at a cost if we're not aware of how to set up the space for our clients, and also set the space for our clients to feel safe and to feel heard and seen. So it was definitely something I wish had been around when I first started my coaching journey as a love mentor. And I would be burnt out. I was exhausted. Like, it was really hard for me to be able to see more than like a couple clients in a day, even just online, because I didn't know these things that I'm hopefully going to share with you today.
Yeah. I love, we're going to be talking about, I love energy hygiene. I think that's cool. Energy hygiene, but also we're going to be talking about boundaries, people. Like, this is also about how to create those boundaries, and that creates sacred space. So Nicole, give us first steps. What does this look like? What can we be
Yeah.
doing?
So first step is, it seems so simple, but let's face it, we don't really do it, is taking pause before you even start your day, before your next session, and breathing, collecting all of your energy back into this present time you.
Yeah.
So if you've had back-to-back clients, just think about like where your energy has been throughout your day.
Mhm.
Even if you're starting your day, where was your energy last night, the day before, the week before? So I'm really a stickler, or I reiterate this a lot, of, grounding our energy in present time and calling back our energy to us that we may have left scattered about, because look, we're human, we're not perfect. We do our best with our boundaries and our energy hygiene work, but I do this on the regular. And so breath work, grounding, that can be a visual, like just affirming I am connected via my root chakra and my feet to the earth. And I am connected to that beautiful, healing, calming energy that gives me the capacity to be present and available for my clients. And again, calling, I like to use this tool, and I love getting creative with our intuition and energy tools, is like I'm casting out a golden net, and this golden net is only collecting my energy, no one else's, and it's bringing it all back home. And I imagine it kind of like a coffee press coming over my head and like gently bringing all the energy back into my physical energetic space, as if all the cells in my body are like, yay, she's back, and I even imagine things like that just to make it more real and visceral for myself.
Yeah.
And I do neutral separations with anyone I feel I've merged energy with, shared space, whether it's your partner, your kids, clients, people at the supermarket. It can be a general, like neutral separations where I say, I am me, they are them. I'm gifting back their energy, but do it neutrally. Don't put an intention on it, like with love or with light, because just gift it back. If you put an intention on it, like you're wanting to alter it in a sense. So then reclaim your energy from those people. But if you have a hard time with like someone in particular, say there's a client that, because we've all had them, we've had a client that kind of encroaches on our boundaries, and not to their fault. And a lot of them are not aware of this. And when you have those types of clients, a really effective way, and this is something my students love, like it's such a simple thing, but they love it, is you name 3 to 5 objective, neutral differences between you and that person. So like, I have curly hair. Katie has straight hair.
Yeah.
She has, what color are your eyes, Katie?
Blue. They're like green, but they're
eyes.
blue.
Yeah. You have blue eyes. I have brown eyes. You're in Europe. I'm in Australia. Like 3 things that are neutral differences. And then you do the gifting back of the energy and calling back your energy. And it helps to it really works. It separates the energy because you're noticing how you're different from each other. So
I love this. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I love this tool because we're activating not only the body part of it, but the mind, because often when we look at energy tools, we forget there's the logical brain that we have to get on board.
Yes,
and
always there.
This is the logical brain going like, I am me, you are you. You look like this, I look like this. And the brain's like, oh yeah, we are different. And then the rest can go, we are different. So I love that you're activating both sides of the brain with this. This is wonderful.
And remember, if you give the brain pictures or symbols or words, if you're not a visual person, it feels like it's real for the brain, right? So it creates the experience. So you'll hear this as a mantra: energy follows your thoughts and intentions. So even just you intending that you're separating energy from somebody and reclaiming yours, you're creating that experience. So remember that powerful tool you have with your intentions. The other thing that I want to share about creating that, holding sacred space is that, there's a way, and it takes practice, of being a neutral observer, a neutral witness for yourself and for others. I mean, this is a great gift for yourself too. So it's not just something you can learn for your clients. And it comes from like getting out of, whether you call it the ego or the not self or whatever it is, and kind of, I imagine I'm sitting back into my inner sanctuary of observation. And this is my highest self I'm converging with in this space. And I'm an observer of life. I'm here to just witness, notice, be a part of, but not get into or be enmeshed in. And it also helps with like not playing that game of duality that we play here on earth and just being like, what would happen if I could be in the presence of people that I maybe would be triggering for me? Or, someone that tells a story and it's upsetting, or a show I'm watching or a news report. What if I can sit back as a neutral observer and be in this space? And that is like a game changer. Really, I practice it a lot. And I will say it's a muscle you have to keep practicing because triggers are everywhere. But when you're able to do that for your clients and just like your own agenda's out of the window, whatever you expect you're going to talk about with them, your plan, how you want them to be and what you want for them, it lets it all go. Because really, isn't it about like letting them have the discovery and the experience and the journey, and you just kind of helping create the safety net for them so they don't like fall off the mountain, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So these first steps are us being aware of what we're bringing to the table, clearing that space, grounding ourselves, really teaching ourselves how to observe the client versus project our things on, or being aware of any, I always talk about transference and countertransference, which is very therapeutic in terms, but what they're projecting on you and what you're projecting on them. By being that neutral observer, recognizing your triggers and going like, not today, like this is not in this meeting. How does all of this create that sacred space? Like how we're building the building blocks. Let's like, how does it get to that big sacred temple?
So a couple more steps.
Yeah. Oh, please. Yes.
So, okay, a couple more. So for one is closing down, or not totally closing, but dialing down your second chakra. And again, energy follows your thoughts and intentions.
Yeah.
So we're going to turn down our emotional receiver and kind of like quiet it. It allows you to be in that quiet, receptive space. So just imagine your little funnel, second chakra in the navel area, just going, like a radio dial, right?
Like, turning down, hold on, turning down.
And you just affirm it, right?
Yeah.
And then the other thing is to create an energetic boundary for yourself. So imagining like if you are aware of your aura, like it's probably a few feet out from your physical body, and imagine surrounding yourself in something protective that allows like the noise to be quiet. So you can hold space for someone without like kids in the other room doing things or your to-do list coming in. You're creating like this quiet sanctuary for yourself, and it acts as a boundary. It acts as an energetic boundary. So once you do these things that I just listed and rattled off, what this invites you to do is to be able to have that perspective of your client's journey and kind of seeing where they are. And maybe even if you're an intuitive or you feel like you get knowings or you sense things, maybe what is like the preview? What are they ready for? Where are they like, because everyone's different. Not every client is like, I'm ready to go heal all these things or break through all these things, right? It allows you to kind of like preview neutrally like their arc, or I kind of see it as like a graph where it's like, they're gonna have this and they're going to plateau and then they're going to dip, and because we're all, built differently, right? And the arc of growth is not straight, this diagonal A to B. So that allows you to really hold the intention of like, this is their journey. This is what I'm previewing, and that can change, right? Remembering that anything can change. And I'm going to hold the intention. And if you want to like do creative things like doing a golden circle around their journey, and just like I'm holding this client in sacred space and I'm a witness of their journey. And in quantum physics, when you witness something, it changes, right?
Yeah.
So you can provide a massive healing just by witnessing someone's journey. And I think that's the most important thing that I learned, is that I didn't have to do so much because I felt like I had to over deliver and do. And sometimes just holding the space for whatever's for their highest good, and just being in that energy of listening, witnessing, um, being there for somebody, seeing them, is the healing.
Done.
Mic drop.
So why this summit is so important to me is we are preached left and right online about build your business, build your business, build your business. And in that process, we spin out and we lose sight of honing our craft and strengthening our skills. And you said it, it seems so basic, it seems so small, but literally you don't need all the major modalities. You don't need the like this technique and this technique. You need the basics, and you need to really get strong. And as you said, that building that muscle of how to sit in those techniques in such a way, and that creates a sacred space. And I think, like, I love the golden circle and holding witness. And I think it's just these small intentional things that we can do that
Yeah.
create change for our clients.
And I really encourage you all to get creative, like allow yourself to not live by a set of rules, and trust yourself in, whatever comes to you, even asking like, before you go into your client setting, like, how can I best serve and support my client today?
Mhm.
And picking up on the clues you're getting, because you might get like really interesting things, and we all have those people in our lives. They may not be coaches or anybody that we're exchanging a service with, but when you're around them and you just feel like you're heard, like they're present for you, and that really like is so meaningful and special, to be in those people's presence. Like that's what I hope to give my clients, and that's what I want you all to practice or move towards, is being that person where someone walks away and goes, wow, I really feel like so and so sees me, you know. Yeah.
The power, and we talked about this yesterday as well, the power of listening.
Yeah.
And not passing judgment, not fixing, not, well, I have something that can, change this for you. Just, wow. Sometimes even just saying, wow, how does
Yeah.
it feel to say that, to really finally put that out there? And all that time envisioning them with as well that gold circle around them of you're protected, you're safe, this is a great place
Yeah.
to be, kind of thing. What is the most unique tool you've used for your energy hygiene? You've shared with us some great ones, but what's something like sort of specific to you that you use?
Yeah. So the energy of universal consciousness energy is a frequency in my method, in the methodology I was trained in, of pearlescent gold. And what I do, and what we practice at the Academy of Intuition Medicine, where I'm also a teacher, is we do a very thorough setup for the classroom. But when we are to cleanse or prepare a space, we always bring in that pearlescent gold energy, and it acts as like the ultimate healer, cleanser, neutralizer of any dissonant energy. So one of the fun things I like to kind of check in with is like, do I need a UC energy rain shower in my space today? A fire, a sun, a wind? Because like sometimes you just get creative in like how you want to clear the energy, create the space. And that energy is so like, I invite you to sense around with like tuning into a pearlescent gold frequency, because it also creates an excellent environment to hold space for your clients, because it's like divine love, higher consciousness energy.
Yeah.
And if you can create a room or even a Zoom call, imagine like you're in this bubble with your client right now, and you infuse the bubble with pearlescent gold universal consciousness energy. Let the heavy lifting happen on an energetic frequency level. Like you don't have to do anything. So that's probably one of the more unique things other than like bringing in guides or, higher intelligence to help support the client. That would be like one of the fun things I love doing because people feel it. They feel it.
Yeah.
You may
The
not
more
know
you
what it
talk
is.
about gold light, I'm like, you're like radiating gold right now. So like, yes, I'm in.
Yes.
I think that that's a beautiful tool, and we can all make it our own in our own ways. That's that's the other piece of this is there is no, like you said, it's a methodology from what you were trained in. Everyone does it in their own way, and you find what is good for you. Now, before I get to my last two questions for you, how about those who are like back-to-back client sessions?
Yeah. Oh,
How do
yeah.
you like quickly shift so you can create, because it's a new sacred space for that next client,
Yeah.
in our minds, it's like, I'm in the same bubble, so I'm still here, but
Yeah.
it's, you gotta like transition. So what
Yeah.
are some tips for that?
Yeah. Well, first thing I would question, why are you setting yourself up in that way that you're back to back? Like,
Right.
come on, sister, like give yourself a little
In the little
space.
space, yes, yes.
I mean, so what I would do, because I've had this too, where I'm like, oh, I had to fit someone in and it was back to back. So I do the like pearlescent gold rain shower. I'm like, I just imagine it just washing all the energy that's here away, neutralizing whatever is in the space, whether it's mine or from my client, and just reaffirm like I'm grounded, I'm in my bubble, like I'm here, everything's like set. Like imagine you have a preset for how you go into your work.
Mhm.
And every day with just your intention, you're like, ooh, I'm pushing that button and boop, 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 like everything's happening. Like seriously, it could be that simple for you. You don't have to go through like this lengthy preamble. It can be like, I'm turning on my preset. I'm setting that intention that this is all happening and we're safe and we're in our own space.
Yeah. And there's that boundary again of if you can't create that space in your calendar, you can be late by 2 or 3 minutes. You can
Yeah.
just hold this because they're in the Zoom room ready, doesn't mean you have to click next. You can
Or yeah.
create that time. You have control. And often we feel the pressure, the people pleasers are like, but they're already waiting. It's okay. You're going to create sacred space for the
Yeah.
change that they need.
And Katie, what a cool thing you can teach your clients that you do. Like get on the call with them and go, oh, let's set up the space,
Yeah.
and just have them create their own little sacred space for themselves. Like
Yeah.
teach your clients your tools because that's what I like to do is always share the wisdom. I want people to be empowered to use this and not have to depend on someone else for it all the time, right? So even taking them through, a lot of times it depends on who I'm working with and how open they are to some of these things. But a lot of times I'll be like, hey, do you mind if we take a few moments here and set up the space? And they love it. It helps them get grounded and present. So it's actually a win-win for both of you.
I think that's so smart. We often forget that we should be teaching our clients these skills. This is what helps them prepare for those crazy moments and stressful days where they're like, oh, hold on, let me set the tone right now. No, I remember working with Nicole and this is what we did, and I'm going to do this now. So yeah, use these tools you're learning of these next days or the last 2 days to teach your clients too. These are tools they can be using. I think that's wonderful. What is a unique way that you empower your clients? You've shared several different ideas, but what is a unique way that you empower your clients?
Oh, well, I love the power of good questions.
Mhm.
I think a lot of people, and I was this way, so this is why I do it, is because I wanted someone to tell me what to do, what I should do, like problem solve for me and whatever. And so, one way I empower them is to learn to trust their intuition, like really drift back into this sacred inner sanctuary space and not be here in the analyzer in our logical area where it's like typewriters going like this and papers flying, is like find a quiet grounded space for yourself
Yeah.
and ask the questions from that locale. not this locale. So I think that's one of the biggest ways I've empowered. A lot of people are like, thank you for teaching me the grounding of being present, because that makes all the difference in their ability to really quiet down and hear their own wisdom.
It's beautiful because decision fatigue plagues us all, first hour of the day, and we've already been like, what is, like, I'm exhausted, ready for bed again. But by the way you empower them through really great questions, really deep questions, it calms that and allows them to focus on what actually matters.
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful. Well, if someone wanted to get in touch with you, Nicole, or work with you, what is the resource that you have available so that they can connect with you?
Yes. So on the topic of creating these sacred spaces, I'm offering the attendees of the summit, anybody that was present, or if there's a replay, I'm not sure. I'm going to hold a create your energy sanctuary 2-hour workshop, and I'm in Australia, so just keep in mind I'm like a day ahead of everybody, but it'll be on December 14th. And Katie has the links and everything to register. It's 4 p.m. Pacific time, UK time. Ooh, that's like midnight UK time. Yeah, the time zones are a little wonky,
It's a little bit tough.
but
Will
there
you
will be a
have
replay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they can register. Good.
Yeah, there will be a replay, but I take you through a really fun experience. So it will be, part teaching some of the tools, but also part creating your own experience. So it's an exploration. I love guiding people on explorations of what's possible. And it's especially helpful if you are in a situation where you have like negative or toxic people in your life, maybe not your clients, but just in general, right?
Yeah.
It's out there. And it's really helpful in creating your own sacred space for yourself. So once you learn how to really do that for yourself, imagine what you can offer your clients too. So I really encourage you all to attend. It's one of my best, reviewed workshops that I've done. So I hope to see, and I'll be teaching it live. So hope to see you there.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And we've got people from Australia watching this, from the USA. So there's all time zones that will be able to attend or again, watch the replay. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you so much for teaching us today. We will be in touch, and enjoy your evening because it's nighttime for you.
Yes, it's nighttime. Thank you so much, Katie. It's such an honor. I love your energy and love being a part here. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you.